And also, when we look at the spiritual writers and the teaching of our early church, what is due God? Love. That is justice due God, to love Him. So, we are made in the image and likeness of God. We have to look through all the mud and spatter on a person, which is their sin, which is their hatefulness, which is their bitterness. And somebody who holds something unforgiving in their heart becomes bitter. And we've all known those people. And then they say, well, Father, I just don't know why anybody doesn't want to be around me. Well, who would? We all have seen what bitter people can do because something was done to them and they still want to get even. Let it go. Let God be the judge of the person. You let go of them. Don't drag them around with you like an old trunk of clothes. That's what we do. All those things we drag around in baggage. It's like old laundry we've never washed and we just drag it around with us. And then we open it up and it just gets smellier and smellier and smellier. And we close it and drag it on. It's like Marley's ghost with a big old chain. That's what it is. Let it go, please. Let it go. It is not worth it. You must love. And that is sometimes just to pray for the person. Pray to the guardian angel when you use. I do that all the time in the hospital. As you know, I've told you this before, I walk down the halls of the hospital. There are people who hate the church. And dressed as I am, you can't miss me. They hate priests. And because God wasn't with them wherever the war was, and it didn't go the way they wanted it to, they can hate God. And since I represent God, there it is. But you cannot hate a patient. You cannot be nasty to a patient. You cannot raise your voice to them. You cannot correct them. You can't do anything like that because they're sick. In more ways than one. And the compassion of Christ must be there. Forgive and you shall be forgiven. He's very adamant. And you have to talk to God about this. You have to talk about those people who hurt you with God. And help you to let it go. You will never move forward. You will never grow in virtue because you still harbor that cancer in you that keeps spreading and comes out as venom when you least expect it. You must take the high road. We as traditional Catholics cannot take the low road of the lower nature, as St. Thomas Aquinas says. We must always strive for the higher nature. We can't go down to the basement when we've been to the mountaintop. You must constantly strive in virtue. And if Jesus says you have to love, then you very well white-knuckle it and do it. I serve with a man who is hateful and spiteful against our church. And will do anything to hurt priests. And all I can do is pray for you. And I was hurt when I saw a note that he wrote. After struggling so many years to help people and to make our church known. And so I thought, what on earth can I do? So I went home, I was sad, and I sat in my little chapel, and I had Therese and Joseph and Mary on the altar. And so I thought, what What do I have to do? Do I want to turn him into the law? Do I want to call the inspector general? Do I want to do all of this? Or do I love him anyway? And on this little terrible note of what he was going to do, what I wanted to write down on the bottom of it was, but you know, you can do this, but I'm going to love you anyway. I'm going to love you anyway. Love overcomes all things. And then I found peace. Of course, I didn't write it on there. But I prayed for him. I offered Mass for him. I pray to his angel. And that's what I can do. Because I want to take the high road. And I want to follow some of you who are already there on that high road. And the rest of you, I want to drag you on with me. I want to chop the chain that has the big old stinky trunk and move us on. We have to. Nobody wants to be, nobody wants to be bitter next to them in the pew, okay? We need to move on. You're very beautiful people, you know that. And by hearing your confessions, I know you try. You really do try very, very hard. And that's what God loves. God loves the trying. We don't have to triumph in this life. We just have to keep on trying. And always remember everyone. Are you going to remember this? Okay, you in the back. Are you going to remember that? Sitting next to that very pretty lady. Aha, okay. Never forget how intensely you are loved by God. Never, ever forget how intensely you are loved.